Morning, everyone. Kat's on the chat. So if you want to say hi to us, we'll just see who the first person to post is this Wednesday. It's Jane. Hi, Jane. Yeah, a little bit excited today. I'm sorry, that's a fire element thing, by the way. That's a heart thing, being a bit excited. There's Chris from I posting. I'm just going to share the PDF I've got here. Ready? Okay, Mary. Hi, Mary. Hi, Vigan. Lynn from West Runton. Yes. Okay. Rosso, Chris, Lisa. Oh, Liz, Anna, Gillian. Hiya. Good morning. Yeah, it's a bit of a big day today, everyone. Hi, Joan. Yeah, it's lovely to have everyone. Look, this is where we've got to, everyone. We're working our way through the year. I can't believe it. It's going so quickly. We've done the lung, the large intestine, the stomach, and the spleen. So we've done a whole set of meridians that go down the legs and go into the arms. And we're going to see a pattern emerging as we go through the year. So look where we are now. We're at the Heart Meridian. It's supposed to be active between 11 and 1. It's a time blood circulation is really kind of happening. We've got high energy, time to eat lunch, but also get on with stuff, do work and things like that. I've got a slide which kind of explains a little bit about the Heart Meridian. The Heart Meridian is part of the fire element in Chinese medicine. There are 3 other meridians, which we'll get to in due course. It's very much to do with the emotional center. On a positive side, it's to do with joy, but if you get kind of a little bit overexcited like I am now, it can tip into a little bit of like, ah. So you've got to keep breathing, keep it calm. It's also to do with awareness and compassion, always good things to develop. And it's related, and this is a big thing, it's related to the Shen in Chinese medicine. The Shen is kind of, it's difficult to translate. It's a little bit between, it's kind of between mind, consciousness, awareness, something like that. It's also kind of sometimes translated as spirit. It's kind of your consciousness spirit that shines out of your eyes and gives you that feeling of really being alive. So for the next month, we're going to be working on that, working on our emotional center and that whole feeling of being alive. Hi, Catherine. Hi, Linda. Jacqueline. Hi, Maggie. Michael. Mrs. Brown Toms. Agnieszka from Poland. Great to have you on the class. Okay, yeah, so it's fire element. And we're going to be working through the fire element. Of course, we've got 4, maybe 5 weeks. So we're going to be covering a lot of the very important points on point of the week. But I thought probably more importantly, hey, hi Sabina. Hope I got your name. I hope I managed to pronounce your name right. And it's great to have people from Poland, I tell you. That's okay. So here we go. Yeah, so I thought maybe today what we'll do is when we do the scans, I'd like to take you on a little bit of a journey and see if we can scan ourselves on different vibrational levels. This is something we do with advanced Shiatsu technique. We've actually got techniques that allow us to scan the energy field on different vibrational levels, like physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual levels. And these can be applied to ourselves, and that just adds an extra depth to how we understand ourselves, and especially how we work with the exercises. So I thought it would be really good to start off this month by getting deeper into the Shen. So what we're going to do is we're going to do the normal scan, but then what I'm going to do is I'm going to get you to scan your body again on 2 different levels, the physical and the emotional. So what you'll have is 3 scans at the end. You'll have a general, what we call an open scan, which is just how you're feeling with all your levels combined. And then you'll have a kind of map of where your energy, what your energy is like on a physical and emotional level. And that can be very interesting. Sometimes you'll get very different pictures. Sometimes you'll get an overlap. If you have a particular symptom, you might have, say, physical pain or a physical blockage that also has an emotional component. And that's a really great way to get self-awareness of how we can develop ourselves. So as you can see, I'm a little bit excited. As I said, that is part of the fire element itself. So I can't help myself with that. I'm breathing, keeping calm as I can, because I really love this stuff. This is really, really interesting. And I want to find out as well how I am with this. Okay. So we're going to do an open whole scan, an open body scan, and then we're going to do an emotional and a physical level scan. Then we'll do the 3 burners, because obviously they relate very much to the physical, emotional energy of the body. Okay, so here we go. Right. I'm going to do it standing up so I can get a whole for you. Maybe you'd like to do the same, but you can do it sitting down as well if you want to. So let's see if I've got the camera. I think the camera needs to come a little bit higher actually, just so you can see the top of my head. Let's just see. Something like that. Let's see. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so scan number 1. This is the whole body scan. This is really interesting because what we can find out, sometimes we can find some kind of weakness or blockage in our field, or and then we can analyze it on different vibrational levels. So let's go. Okay, so first of all, we're just going to relax, tune internally. This is called focusing, by the way. It's an actual thing called focusing. And we're going to go down through our body, feeling through the cranium, through the ears, jaw, eyes, through the throat, down through the shoulders, down the arms, down through the chest, diaphragm, abdominal area, hips, knees, ankles and feet. Okay, now we're going to step outside ourselves kind of thing and look at it, the whole of our body energy as one thing. Okay, and I'm just going to close my eyes and shut up for a minute. I can do it myself. I'm just going to scan through. Okay, I think I've got it. Okay, and now you turn that into an image. We're going to turn that into an image and we're going to draw that. And that's our open whole body scan. So I'm going to, and in advanced Shiatsu work, what we do is we do this to our clients. So we actually scan them and we get an idea of the whole energy body before we start. We combine that with the questioning to see how we're going to aim, make aims for the session and what the client will like and stuff like that. Okay, so I'm just going to draw mine. Okay, so I've got my open whole body scan now. I'm going to put the date on open whole body scan. And now we're going to do an interesting thing. We're going to scan on 2 different levels and we're going to draw 2 pictures. So what I recommend you do is just do it all on one page. So I'm going to keep my whole body scan over here and look at that later. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to just draw a line like that across my page, and I'm going to do the physical one there and the emotional one there. And we'll see. I'm going to put P and E, a big P and an E, so I know what I'm doing. Okay, so here we go. So again, we're just kind of like just relaxing a little bit. And now we're going to focus in on the physical body. So we're feeling the joints, the physical bones, the physical muscles, the blood going around, anything like that. Okay, any tension, physical tension, anything, how the muscles feel. Okay, so we're going to scan again. So going down through. We're going to tune into the head on a physical level, into the throat on a physical level. Okay, and then through into the shoulders, down the arms again on a physical level, and then down through the chest, diaphragm, again just on the physical level. What can you feel physically? Into the abdomen, hips, pelvic floor, legs, knees, ankles and feet. Okay, and then just relax, take a whole view of your body physically. What can you feel physically? Any weaknesses, any blocks, anything you'd like to work on? Okay, now we're not trying to make this look simpler, this drawing. I'm just going to put in 2 or 3 really important things that I felt. Got a little bit of a stick man thing going on here. Just going to put in the things that I mainly felt. Because at this stage, we don't want too much information. We just want to focus in on the things that we notice the most. Otherwise, we can get a bit overwhelmed with the amount of information. And it's the same thing when we're doing Shiatsu, advanced Shiatsu techniques. We tend to when we do scans like this, we tend to pick up 1 or 2 movements of energy that we feel are the most dominant. Okay, so I've got a picture of my physical body now. I'll show it to you in a minute. But let's go on now to the emotional body scan. And then we can do the 3 heaters. And then we'll be off. Okay, So this time we're going to tune in on the emotional level. So we're going to see how we feel, how our body energy feels as we go on to the emotional level. All right, so you're just going to ask yourself that question. What is my energy like on the emotional level? Okay, and see what happens. So we're going to scan down and we're going to ask ourselves, what does our head and all our sense organs feel like, or what are they like on an emotional level? And then we go down into the throat. What's that like on an emotional level? Throat and the neck. And then we go down into the chest area, down the shoulders, down the arms. What are they like on an emotional level? Okay, and then we go down into the chest area, the whole upper heated kind of area around here and into the back. What's that like on an emotional level? Okay, and then we go down into the diaphragm, down into the abdominal area, into the hips, and then down into the feet. Okay, and then just take a step back and see if we can create an image that expresses how our emotional body feels. And ask yourself, does it feel exactly the same as the physical body drawing you did? And if not, what's the difference? Okay, so let's draw that. I'm going to draw mine. Okay, brilliant. Okay, so here we are. It's so interesting. Look at this. This is my whole body scan. So that's like my whole body. That's what I mainly picked up. And these are my physical and my emotional. I'll make them a bit thicker so you can see. The top one is the physical level. And the lower one is the emotional. Okay, and look, they're very, very different. I picked up my diaphragm and my jaw on the physical level. And the emotional level, it's completely changed the focus into the whole chest area. And that's really interesting because now, depending on what level I was mainly working, I'd have a very different idea of what I'd like to feel like at the end of the session or the exercise session. See? And we can maybe work on both depending. Sometimes you'll find that you'll get hardly any information on certain levels and sometimes you get lots. Okay? So I've got a poll for you. Which is basically, do you feel the block or weakness in your body that you found on the whole body scan? Do you think it's mainly physical or emotional or both? So basically, which is the one that's most dominant? When you look at your pictures, do you think it's physical, emotional, or both? I'm going to run that, or you're not sure. I've got a poll right here. Let's just see. And then we can find out as a group whether it's a mainly physical or mainly emotional thing that you'd like to work on, and we can adjust the class depending on what you're finding out. Okay, look at that. Most of you have either got, it's definitely physical, but most of you have both physical and emotional aspects, and that's really interesting. We can work on that. We definitely work on that in the class. And what I'll do is I'll adjust some of the exercises today and we can work on them at different levels. I can show you some of the points and how they operate on different levels. Okay, super cool. Okay, so now we just need to find out which burner is most of need of work this Wednesday and we can start. Okay, so here we go. We're going to do the 3 burner scan. Have you got your 3 burner piece of paper ready? And let's just see. And what we're going to do is we're going to tune in open. So we're not going to tune in on either the physical or emotional level. We're just going to tune in open and just pick one of those 3 burners and we'll see how we're doing. We've had some very, very interesting movements in the burners over the last few months. And I'm just interested to see what happens today. Okay, so here we go. We're going to start off with the lower burner this week. So tuning into the lower burner, relaxing, closing our eyes, asking ourselves, what is that like? Then we go up into the middle burner. and ask yourself, what is that like? Compare it with the lower burner. Okay, got that? And then we go up into the upper burner and compare that with the lower and the middle burners. Okay, and then we're just going to draw those three. Wow, I've got a big change from last week. I can tell you I've had a bit of a change this week. Okay, I'm just going to draw my 3 burners. And I'm going to run that hole. We'll just see which ones are. Then we can link the fire element, the heart and small intestine meridians, especially the heart meridian. We can link them in with the burners. So let's see, which burner would you like to work on today? And we'll find out how we're doing as a group, and then we'll get straight on with the exercises. Okay, recently we've had the middle burner quite low and the lower and upper burner vying for the position, for the top position. And so let's see how it comes out today. 60% of the audience. Whoa, okay, look at this. This is very different. We're getting a massive increase here unless we get a few more people vote. Let's see. Look at that. That's changed completely from the last few weeks. It's shifted much more into the middle and upper dominant burner. Upper burner. Perfect for the fire element. So let's go. Okay, excellent. So what we'll work on is we'll work on integrating and releasing on the physical and the emotional level. We're going to use the heart center as the kind of linchpin to the whole thing. And we'll work on the other burners and see how they link in with the upper burner, especially with the heart center. Okay, sound like a good idea? Okay, so let's do that. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to just work on our alignment. We're going to get that head floating up and opening up the feet, connecting with the earth. Okay, and look what dominance we've got on the upper and middle burner here. So what we're going to do first of all is we're going to focus in on the center of the upper burner around here. This is the heart center, CP17. And we're just going to do some nice deep breaths. And then radiating out from this center, we're going to start immediately opening up the heart meridian. And the first thing we're going to do is open up that armpit. We're going to imagine there's an egg in that armpit, and that's where heart 1 is, which is point of the week, unsurprisingly this week, which we'll go into a bit later. We're going to open up that feeling in the armpit. Just shake the arms out a little bit like this. Okay, float the head up, relax the sacrum down. And now we're just going to go deep into that emotional center, and we're going to use the breath to regulate the heart center. This is how the nervous system relates to the function of the heart center. Go into that a little bit more detail later. But let's start off here, and we're going to just use the breath. We're going to do some nice long exhalations, and we're going to start shaking through this center here, through this whole center here into the middle, just gentle shaking. And you notice what I'm doing? I'm really releasing the shoulders, and I'm allowing the hands to just really relax all the way down into the hands here, okay? Just gentle shaking here. Okay, very good. Just a few more breaths, and I'm just going to wriggle and shake, said Kat in the chat right at the beginning. That's what we're just going to bring the arms forwards and back. And we're going to loosen up the whole rib cage here, using the breath. What we're trying to do here is regulate the upper burner. We want to calm the nervous system down, but we want that Shen to be shining out of our eyes as our consciousness and everything and our kind of awareness starts to increase. We do that through regulating the heart center. Keep that armpit open, shaking those arms out. I'm going to roll the shoulders a bit just to keep that heart 1 open. So I'm really opening up here. So I'm opening and shut here. Okay, now if you picked up any kind of obstruction on the emotional level, particularly in this area here, or even in the middle burner, we're going to just try and relax and open that area up and just let go of it, okay? So this is what we're doing now in the upper burner. Got my little finger there, stretching out. Okay, keep that alignment, keep that head floating up. And let's see, have we done quite enough? Let's just see a little bit more, maybe a few in that upper burner. Very good. And now we're going to go down into the middle burner. There's quite a lot of voting for the middle burner now. This is where a lot of emotions are held, particularly frustration, anger, things like that, anxiety. This is a middle burner thing, and it seems I've switched back to the middle burner myself this week, which is a bit of a surprise. I thought I was free of that. I'll just show you my 3 burner scan. It's more like it was about 2 or 3 months ago. I've actually had a bit of a run of upper burner the last few weeks. Okay, so I really, really like sympathize or empathize with you if you've chosen middle burner. And the main thing about middle burner is we want to release it. Okay, so we're getting this heart center opening up with the shaking, opening up the armpits. And now we shake down into the middle burner, and this is all to do with freeing up. Okay, so we're going to shake the middle burner now. And we want to really just relax right down to the hips. Liver and gallbladder channel is important. Let's just get that diaphragm moving up and down. And we're literally jiggling and shaking these internal organs because we want to get them nice and relaxed. If there's any tension here, and if you just gently press in here, you might be able to notice if there's any tension or any areas of stiffness there. That's what we want to internally work with the shaking. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to merge the shaking into twisting exercise, which is the best way to release the middle burner. So we're going to just start bouncing and shaking and twisting that middle burner there. Just shaking a little bit, twisting. Okay, and this is all about releasing. It's all about free flow and getting that middle burner to relax. So we're combining the shaking and the twisting. Nice and easy. This stretch, when you get to here, is an opening for the liver, like that. Ideal. Shaking a bit more. Okay, and then let's just check again, just see what that's feeling like, a little bit more open. Okay, and then we're going to go down, shake down into the hips and to the pelvic floor. Keep the hips really relaxed. Relaxing the sacrum, just dropping the sacrum down. Relaxing the hips. Okay, now let's just see if we can get that breath down into the lower abdomen. And there's really, really good reason for that, because I noticed not many people voted for the lower burner this week, but how these middle and upper burner functions is essentially connected to the lower burner. So I'm going to shake here, I'm going to relax my knees here, I'm going to open up kidney 1. Okay, and what we're going to do now is just place our hands on the lower dantian, keeping my shaking going a little bit and then slowly easing up with shaking. And let's just take a deep breath into the lower burner. Okay, and breathe out, relaxing the upper and middle burners as we exhale. Okay, so what we do is we're rooting the chi in the lower burner. We're using that root to release the middle and the upper burners. It's really, really important connections going on here. Okay, so keep that kidney 1 open. We're going to do some doing in a minute just to supercharge that. But right now, we've got to get this lower burner to help us release the middle and the upper burner. All right, so let's try that. I'm really, really sinking down into here. Bringing the breath into the lower burner. Okay, keep your attention on the lower burner as you inhale, okay? And then as you exhale, pick either the middle or the upper and just release that. With a long exhalation. Okay, a bit of a shake. Just need a bit more of a shake because I've still got a little bit of stagnation here in the upper and the middle burners. I'm just shaking out a little bit more. Other legs. Okay, we'll do some doing in a minute. So if you're not quite getting it yet, don't worry, because we need about 10 or 15 minutes of doing to open the channels and we'll be able to get right through this. But for now, let's just see if we can lay that foundation. We're keeping the kidney one open, keeping the shoulders relaxed. Open that egg to open up the heart channel again. Okay, ready? So we're breathing into the lower dantian. Focus your attention here, right through into your back. Hold it. Okay, now switch your focus into either the upper or the middle burner, depending on which one you most need to release. And breathe out and release that area. Okay, that's really good. Let's just do 2 more of those, right? Because we're breathing in. Attention in the lower burner. Keep your mind here. Pick one of these 2. Okay, slow exhalation. Okay, so you notice that the ability to release or to energize the upper and the middle burner relies on this underpinning here. So let's just do 1 more. Here we go. Breathing in. Okay, hold it and breathe out. Focusing on one of these and release. Okay, now just would like to just remember what that feels like. We're going to do about 10-15 minutes of doing. We're going to get those channels really open and energized, do some more internal Qi Gong, and then we'll go back to that exercise again and see if we can kind of turbocharge it. Because judging by the way you've been voting here for the burners and for the vibrational levels, we need to really get that lower burner to help us release the upper and middle. So it's time for kidney 1, everyone. I knew you were waiting for that. I could just tell you're just going, when are we going to do kidney 1? And it's now. Okay, got my chair. Okay, essential point. We need that because we need the yin in the body, particularly if we start talking about the heart, because the heart yin is what gives us that chilled out kind of vibe. And it's really important for the heart to have yin and to have blood so that the shen can shine out through the eyes and keep ourselves calm under all circumstances. And we really need that right now, don't we? Okay, so let's get that kidney 1 activated. It's this point here, right in the 1/3 of the distance down the midline, if you can't remember where it is. That's exactly where it is. So I can actually press in here. It's really important to energize that point, as we'll find out in a minute. Well, in about 10 or 15 minutes when we actually go back and start integrating the lower burner with the middle and the upper. Okay, I'm going to just tap it with some dough in here. What we'll do is we'll do a series of doughing exercises for the different burners, and we'll reference back into that releasing exercise that we just did, which is using the lower burner breathing to release and to energize the middle and upper burners. And I'd just like you to just monitor that in yourself, because it will vary depending on how you voted, what your scans were like, which is the most significant things. And then that's the thing you can take with you into the week. Like we normally do, we usually pick 1 or 2 things to take with us into the week to help us regulate our nervous system and keep ourselves healthy and balanced until the next Wednesday class, until we find out what the hell is going on with the group next week. Okay, so tap here, really open this up. I think I've done enough. Let's just feel, yeah, I think that's enough. Keep my feet warm. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll do kidney 1, and then we'll do some doughing on the kidney and bladder channels. Okay, so here we go again, 1/3 of the distance up. I'm just going to stretch that out. I can't believe that we're already into the heart meridian. Can you believe it? We've done 1/3 of the way, all the way through. And maybe at the end of this session, I'll just revise how far we've got and show you how they all link up. Because the idea is to build up a knowledge of how all of the 12 meridians link together in the arms and the legs. And we're going to be obviously building on that through the year. We've already done 1/3 of the whole journey. Amazing. Okay, here we go. I think that's enough. Let's just have a little bit more of a tap. Yep. good. I think we're done. What's done with my sock? Oh, there it is. Here we are. Okay, cool. So let's see what now. Okay, so we're going to go straight in. First of all, let's just get that lovely kidney 1 feeling. I've looked forward to this all week. So we're just going to stand, go into our alignment, and look what a difference that makes. Can you feel that connection? It's almost like a root instantly goes down into the earth. You get a really nice calm but energized feeling all through the whole body, and that's the magic of kidney 1. So let's spread that feeling into the lower burner, and then we'll check to see how we're doing with the middle and the upper. So let's go, and we're going to go just tapping behind the ankle of kidney 3, up the inside of the legs. That's kidney 10 here, it goes up onto just above the pubic bone here, that's kidney 11. And then we go round onto the sacrum, that's related to bladder and kidney. There we go. And we go down back to the legs, and then up onto the lower dantian, and round, down the back of the legs, down to bladder 60 and down onto the feet, and then up again. Okay, got it. So it's brushing off. So it's energizing the kidney channel up from kidney 1 up into the lower dantian. Okay, so now let's see what happens. We'll remember what it was like before. Now let's try it again. We're going to just shake out, keep that armpit open, keep that heart 1 open. Float our head up, relax the sacrum, relax the hips, relax the knees and the feet. Okay, open up kidney 1. Okay, and now let's place our hands over the dantian, the lower dantian, just below the navel. Okay, and we're going to keep that feeling of kidney 1 open. Really anchor the legs, relax the lower part of the hara, this whole area here, around the sacrum, relax it. Okay, now let's try. So we're going to breathe in into these hands here. Keep your attention in the lower burner. Okay, now notice how much easier that is now. Hold it. Okay, now switch your attention to either the upper or the middle, depending on what you voted for or what you picked up in your scan. Okay, and now long exhalation, relaxing the middle or the upper or both. Okay, now can you feel how much stronger it is now, that release? And that's really, really important, because that's energizing the lower burner to release or energize the upper and middle. Let's just do it a couple more times. We're going to breathe in, keep that kidney 1 open, keep those knees relaxed, breathing in. Okay, so we're focusing in on the lower burner here, holding it, switching our attention to the middle or the upper, and breathing out. Okay, that mixture of energized and calmness comes from the kidney yin and yang, everyone, and that's really, really important in Chinese medicine. So let's just do one more of those cycles. So breathing into the lower abdomen, and breathing out, relaxing the upper and the middle heater. Okay, now if you've got a feeling of your awareness getting sharper there, kind of like a feeling of awareness opening and a kind of calmness, a calm but aware feeling, and you might even feel your eyes starting to shine, that is your Shen, everyone. We are activating and nurturing the Shen by using the lower burner, tonifying the yin and the yang and the kidneys. Really important connection between the heart and the lower burner. Okay, so now let's go on with the Douyin and let's really do a job on the middle burner. We're going to release the whole middle burner with the Douyin, and then we'll go back and we'll see what kind of thing that happens to our project today, which is to get our Shen shining. Okay, and it will depend entirely on what you voted for. Those of you that voted for the middle burner, this is your moment, because you're going to probably feel the most change after this little series of exercises. Okay, so we've done some shaking, we've done some twisting, but now let's activate the channels and get everything flowing from the middle burner. Okay, and what we're going to do is we're going to start tapping from here. This is liver 13. We're going to tap up here, just underneath the breast here, underneath the nipples here. This is liver 14, and this linking here opens up the liver channel, really important in the whole middle burner kind of area. So we're just going to tap here a few times. And then from this liver 13 point, which is by the floating rib, we get onto that in December, I think, won't we? We go down into the hips. We're going to tap into gallbladder 30, a very important point for releasing any liver tube stagnation that goes into the hips. And then we're going to go down. Okay, down. Let's just make sure that we tap just below the knee on the outside. That's gallbladder 34. That's a really important point for releasing the sinews and can be very useful for releasing the diaphragm. We're going to go down. We're going to go up the liver channel, which is right on the inside of the legs. And we're going to go up here, back to the floating rib point, and then back up to this level 14 and then down. Okay, so this is the sequence. Right, with me. So we go hip, gallbladder 30, down, gallbladder 34, down, up the liver channel, across to liver 13, up to liver 14, into the hips, down, outside the legs, gallbladder 34, up the liver channel, floating rib, and then up to liver 14. Okay, if you do it one more time. Now we go into the hips, down, outside, and up, inside, and up. Okay, excellent. So that's the wood element, that's the liver and gallbladder. So now we need to do the same kind of thing with the spleen and stomach. So let's just start rubbing the whole abdomen just around the navel to start with, to get in touch with the spleen channel. Hey, we just did that. We did that last month. We did a whole thing on stomach and spleen. So you should know exactly where the channels are and what can happen with this. So what we can do is we can pick up the stomach and spleen, the stomach channel particularly here. Remember this one? We did stomach spleen 22 last time. Anyway, we go down the stomach channel, down the outside front of the legs. Don't forget stomach 36, just to really activate the digestive system and increase the strength in the body. Down, up the inside, front of the legs this time, sides of the body, and then finish off with the great embrace point here. Can you get a complete feeling of the stomach and spleen channels being worked? So we'll go down stomach, 36, up the spleen, sides of the body, crossed over and tap. Perfect. Okay, one more time. Go down. Up and count. And then brilliant. And brushing off down the fronts of the legs. Okay, so you can see we've covered all of the yin and yang channels of the legs now. We've done kidney and bladder, the lower burner, and we've done liver and gallbladder, and stomach and spleen for the middle burner. So now let's check in and see how we're doing. We're getting our Shen shining by connecting the lower burner upwards with the middle and upper. So let's just see. And this is middle burner people. If you voted for middle burner, that's me too. This should be probably a quite significant moment in the session today, but let's find out. Let's go into our breathing. We're going to open up that heart one again, remember, keeping that really nice and open. We're going to float our head up, keep that kidney one open, keep it nice and energized. Okay, and let's just do 3 breaths and see what happens. So we're going to breathe into the lower burner, keep our attention in the lower burner. Okay, and now switch to the middle or the upper burner, your attention that is, okay, and then slowly exhale and see how much we can release. Okay, there we go. Middle burner people, I'm sure you can feel that. It's just so much looser now. Everything's moving, and that is so much easier to release it with the lower dantian. Okay, let's do a couple more of them because I need it. Here we go, breathing in. Okay, upper burner people, you may want to focus on the upper burner as we release. Let's try it again, breathing out. Okay, really good stuff. Really, really good. Let's just do one more. Breathe in. Hold it in the lower burner, round dantian. Pick where you want to release and slowly exhale. Okay, awesome. Okay, that's really, really impressive. So now let's go on and work on the upper burner. We've got the heart, obviously, which we're going to work down to. And we've also got the lungs, another important place on the upper burner. So let's just get the lungs out of the way, then we can do point of the week, and then we can concentrate on the fire element, and we can concentrate particularly on the heart channel today to show you some points and everything for the Shen. So here we go. This is a really nice exercise for the lungs that we often do, but let's remember though that the kidney energy on the lower burner is what roots the breath. So it's not like it's opening up kidney one, it's getting that anchoring down here, and that's what allows us to bring the Qi down low in the body. Okay, it's the lungs descending the Qi and the kidneys grasping the Qi. That's what it's called in Chinese medicine, if you're interested. Okay, so let's try that. Do this. Okay, nice and easy. This is a medical Qi Gong exercise from China. And my friend Elise Johnson went to China back in the 80s, and she brought back reports of Qi Gong departments in the Chinese hospitals that had literally hundreds of people, who were in like specialist departments, say for respiratory problems, and they would have like hundreds of them literally in a massive hall or even outside, and they'd all be doing this kind of exercise. Amazing, real low tech, low cost, but really effective way of getting people well. So we can, now we've got that technology here because Qi Gong has come into the West, we can make most of it. So let's get those thumbs out like this. Let's open up this area here and not forget that we've got to keep that kidney energy grounded and open. So keep that kidney one open. Keep those thumbs out. Okay, and we're going to open up lung 1 and 2, which are right here in the front of the shoulder. Nice, easy, deep breaths. Very good. Okay, so now we're going to do the lung channel. We can do a little bit of dough in here. So we're just going to tap around lung 1 and 2, just to remind you though, around here. This is lung 1 right here. You can go underneath the collarbone, find this indentation, that's lung 2. Go down just a little bit and you'll feel lung 1 right there. Okay, we can tap there. And we're going to go down towards the thumb. So we're tapping down. This is lung 5, really good for opening up the chest, if you remember. And we're going to go down into lung 10 and 11. And then switch over and go up the large intestine channel. So this was January and this was February, remember? We did it this year, and so we're into February now, up the large intestine channel. Okay. And the lung again. I'm going to go round 3 times. And brush off. Okay, lovely. And the other side. Okay. Up. What we'll do is we'll just finish this, just do this little bit of dough-in. Okay, particularly make sure you get this area released. That's it. Shaking out. And let's just do this exercise again for a little moment. We're going to bring the arms up, bring those thumbs outside, and we're just going to just let the arms go back. And you notice how much easier that is now, and that's because we've opened up the lung channel. Okay, just to check in there. Nice deep breaths. Keep your attention here though as you breathe in. Okay, and breathing out. Okay, brilliant. So now it's time for point of the week. And unsurprisingly, I've got Heart 1 all ready for us because we're right in the, here we are, Heart 1. Okay. Qi Gong Summit Spring it's called, which is an amazing name, isn't it? And look what it does. It unbinds the chest, benefits the channel and the arm. So it's really good for that whole opening up the armpit thing. It's also used for frozen shoulder. But look at that last thing, which is anxiety. And that's more to do with the emotions, more to do with the Shen. So it works quite a lot on the physical level. There are points further along the channel that we'll be doing later, featuring later, that have kind of more of an emotional aspect to them. But having said that, any Heart Meridian channel is going to have an emotional component. So those of you who voted for the upper burner and maybe emotional or mixed physical and emotional, this is your moment, because what we're going to be doing now, hopefully, will be the most significant part of the exercises for you. Okay, so we're going to work on Heart 1. I'll show you some various exercises to do with that. Yeah, we'll all get our Shen shining in the next 15 minutes. So Heart 1's kind of a tricky point to get to. So we'll do some stretching and opening exercises to start with to open it out. Then we're going to go straight in there and I'll show you how to angle it and how to get the most out of that point if you're going to do it on your own, based on what we do in Shiatsu when we do one-to-one sessions. Okay, so first of all, what we're going to do is we're going to first of all tune into the heart center. So we're going to relax. The all-important kidney 1 is going to be open. The lower burner is going to be energized, because this connection between the lower burner and the upper burner is extremely important. You can't have a shiny Shen unless you have a nice stable Jing or kidney yin and yang. Okay, it's really, really important. I'm just going to establish that now by placing a hand on the lower dantian and on the middle, CV17, right in the middle of the chest here. I just want you to take a few breaths, like with me. We've got the middle burner nicely open now with the dough in, okay? Let's just take a nice deep breath into the lower dantian. Okay, and then as we breathe out, just imagine a connection between your two hands, like a connecting thing down here. Okay, just get that connection going. Very good. Now we're going to take this hand away. Just focus on the upper burner into the emotional center. Okay, now keeping that awareness of the emotional center, we're going to open up kidney 1, connect down into the earth and float a head up. Okay. And I'm going to bring my hand out in a kind of expression here, expansion. I'm going to bring my hand out. Just like you to feel the connection between the inside of your arms and deep inside your chest. That's really important connections going on here. And what we're going to do is we're going to start to open up Heart 1. I'm going to get you to take your little finger like I'm doing now. We're going to take our little finger like this, just give it close up, like this, and we're going to twist the arm this way. Okay, and this just gets the connective tissue that goes into the heart channel really strongly. And I'll just show you. Get that little finger uppermost. Okay, breathe in, breathe out. Okay, and keep turning until you can feel it in your armpit. And just allow that to relax and open. And then release and float your hands down. Okay, shake out. Going to again bring into the heart center. We're going to open outwards. Connect the heart center with the arms. Activate the little finger by bringing the little finger up like this. And then we're going to rotate this way out. Can you see how I'm doing that? Opening up this right the way through into the Heart 1. Okay, so here we go. Breathing in, breathe out, nice and relaxed. Keep that kidney 1 open, stretch it open, and then release and float down. Okay, open up the armpit again. Okay, relaxing, shaking out, heart center. Okay, connect again. Keep that kidney 1 open, open out. Feel the connection between the heart center and the arms. activate the little finger, breathe in, breathe out, open up heart one. But keep that kidney one open, keep that kidney energy connected down, and you'll get that Shen really nicely stabilized then. Okay, here's a meridian stretch for the whole meridian. We've done this many times before. Place the hands in the prayer position, stretch up, open up heart one, okay, underneath the armpits. Breathe in, breathe out, and gently press your hands behind you. So I'm pressing them this way, behind me, opening up heart one and bringing the elbows slightly out. Okay, but don't forget kidney one. Keep that attention down into kidney one, and you'll stabilize that heart stretch. Very good, coming out, shaking. One more time. We'll just do it a couple more times, keeping that kidney one open. Breathing in, breathing out. Okay, one more time. Heart position, prayer position. Open up, keep kidney one activated. Breathing in, breathe out, and stretch. Okay, excellent. So now let's see if we can actually activate heart one on ourselves. It's kind of a tricky point to get. It's right in the armpit. And the important thing is the direction. So what you want to do is you want to aim up towards gallbladder 21, if you can remember where that is. I'll show you where gallbladder 21 is. It's actually on the top of the shoulder, between the center of the spine and this little bony bit that sticks up here. It's midway, so it's kind of like here on the top of the shoulder. It's often a tender point. That's where you want to aim for to really activate heart one. So just find that point first so you know where it is, and then open up the arm, relax, get the thumb or the fingers, whatever you want to do, and then aim up and see if you can get the direction of the pressure up towards this point here. And if you do that, you'll start to really activate the point. And you have to kind of wiggle it around until you get the actual angle right. And that's what we do when we do like Shiatsu technique. We often use the side position. We open up the arm and we kind of experiment until we get that point, the angle right. So as if I bring my arm up like this, I use my fingers, whatever's easiest, depends a bit on the flexibility of your arm. Okay, but I think probably the easiest for me is to use my middle finger here. Open up the heart into a bit of a heart stretch position, so like this, and then aim it up towards that gallbladder 21 point, and then there we are, bingo, I've just got it now, and I can feel it radiating out into the chest, into my chest, and connecting into the heart center. If you can't quite get it, just experiment with the angle and you'll just get it. You have to be right in the armpit. Okay, so just take some nice deep breaths. Let's just do 3 breaths for each side. So I'm going to take a nice deep breath in. I'm going to keep this arm as relaxed as I can, just holding on my head here. Just gently pressing in. And I can feel like a kind of warm, calm feeling going right through my chest and into the heart center. And that's the action of heart one. I'm going to just quickly pop the slide up again so you know where it is. Look, there you go. Okay, so it's right in there. And you'll feel that feeling of it unbinding the chest. If you get the angle right, you'll just get that feeling of kind of like a warm feeling going in. You may indeed find that your shoulder feels released and the whole channel and arm start really feeling the benefit. Okay, so I'm going to do this. I'm just going to hold onto my head to keep it nice and relaxed. Find my armpit. Where is it? It's here. My armpit is here. Okay, I'm going to use my middle finger, relax. And now I'm going to aim up towards gallbladder 21, which is right here. So I'm aiming like this towards that point. And if you're a Shiatsu practitioner, it's good revision for you. So when you're doing it on a client, you can remember the exact angle. Okay, and don't be afraid to ask your client as well. Does that feel right? They'll know. Once you get that point right, you know, like I've got it right now, I've got it right there. I can feel this sort of warm feeling radiating into the shoulder, the chest, and actually down the arm as well. So let's just do a couple of breaths, breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, and breathing out. Okay, excellent. So now let's just check out how we're feeling. got that heart one activated. We've stretched it in any number of ways. We've opened it out. And now we should be able to do this lower dong breathing thing again. We're going to bring the breath into the lower dantian. We're going to open up the armpits. We're going to open up that heart one. Relax the arms. Okay. Keep the breath in the lower dantian. Breathe out and relax and release the upper burner. Okay, now, did you notice how your perception kind of changed subtly as we did the exhalation? Let's do it again. I'll show you what I mean. If you look into the distance, you may want to look away from the screen, maybe look into the distance, maybe look out the window, and just notice what happens. It's a subtle thing, but what that is your Shen clearing, okay? And it's really quite an exciting thing to feel, even if it's just a subtle thing. Okay, so let's do it a couple more times. We're going to breathe into the lower dantian. Okay, we're going to open up the armpit. And now we're going to focus our attention on the middle, on the upper burner, okay, the heart center. Slow exhalation. Concentrate on your eyes and see what happens. What may happen is the colors just start to get a little bit more acute, everything starts to be a bit brighter, and your eyes kind of feel like they're brightening up. And that, if you're getting that sensation, that's the beginning of nurturing your Shen. Let's try it again. Okay, looking off into the distance. Keep that kidney one open, really relax. Okay, you're looking off into the distance, keeping the peripheral vision nicely open, breathing into the lower dantian. Hold the breath. Okay, and then really nice and easy, opening up heart one. Breathe out slowly and notice how your eyes feel. Okay, you may have got just a slight increase in the amount of your awareness of the light around you, and that again is an indication of the Shen being expressed out through the eyes. You may have felt it more in the chest, relaxing. You may have felt more of a general calm feeling in the whole body. It doesn't really matter what it is, but that movement of energy that we're getting there, that is building the Shen, keeping us calm, keeping us emotionally stable, and that's how it works, okay? So we've just got a couple of minutes now. We just got to make sure that we clear the head area, so let's just spend a minute just tapping around the head. Just going to tap here, over the top. Wiping the eyes, squeezing underneath the cheekbones, relaxing the jaw, squeezing around the lower jaw. Okay, there we go. And pulling the ears, and then just half a minute of squeezing down the neck. Just to make sure we got those yang channels nice and opened out. Okay, squeezing the SCM muscle. Washing the face 3 times. 2, 3. And then just brushing down the yang channels of the arms. Shaking the spine. And brushing down the yang channels of the legs. Okay, and there we are, a Shen special, everyone. Thank you so much for taking part, really enjoyed it. I'll just quickly go back onto the chat and send everyone a heart. There we go. There we are, okay. Oh yeah, how is my back today? It's really amazing. Yeah, if you were there last night, if you're one of the new Energy Work members and you're a professional Shiatsu practitioner, you might have been on the tutorial yesterday, and Shakura worked on my back. And do you know what? It's absolutely fine this morning. It's really, really good. It feels so much better. So thank you for asking. How about that? A Shen special. I really enjoyed it. Thanks so much, Kat, for being on the chat. Feels like you could go to sleep. That's very important. The Shen has been anchored in the heart blood. We'll go more into that theory later on. Okay. Thing to take away with though is whether you feel it in the upper or the middle burner, don't forget kidney 1 and don't forget to activate the lower burner, because that's the root of releasing and energizing the rest of the body. Okay, and I'll leave you with that thought until next Wednesday. And yeah, what a great session. Really enjoyed it. James, sanity has been saved yet again. And I tell you what, I'm with you there, Jane. I don't know what I'd do without the Wednesday class either. Okay, so see you next time. And yeah, have a great week. Yeah, Simonetta, Lynn, Jane, Jacqueline, Joan. Yeah, see you next week. Here we go. End the session.